live. You are live. Hey. What is it today? We are live. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Make sure my volume is already up. Turn me up in the headphones. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Oh, we making good time this morning. It's feeling good. It's feeling good. The vibe is feeling good. We're making good time this morning. It's morning time. Good morning, man. Top of the mid-morning from an OG perspective, man. We right on time, in time, every time, perfect time. You know what it is, man. Come on in. We're going to have the conversation. Day 37. No end in sight. Dynamite right here. We said 41 days. How many days? First person gets shouted out in the chat. We got to do a contest. We got to do something. We got to articulate this in some type of way, man, because we said 41 days. We had 37 days. I don't know if we're going to do the filibuster. Y'all, I don't know what's going to happen, man, but it's been over a month, man. We creeping up on the 15th. The 15th is like a drop dead day. And after the 15th, you could buy you could kiss away December. So, I mean, because delays are going to be delayed. When the contingency fund is going to be tapped soon. After the contingency fund is tapped, I mean, it's like, goodbye, Christmas, man. Cancel Christmas. That's what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to talk about it every day. We're going to watch it, man. It's a countdown to the frown down, man. Government shutdown, day 37. Longest shutdown in American history. Longest shutdown. And both of the longest shutdowns in American history just so happened to be under Trump. Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. That's right, baby. Trump news, Trump latest news. You know how we do that. Voodoo, we do the hoodoo. Try to do that. We do, you can't do. Switch it up. Talk about something else. Don't talk about geopolitics. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about conservative politics. Switch it up and talk about something else, man, because the best conversation, the only conversation, the most lit conversation for politics on YouTube. You're watching it right now. You are watching it right now. Perfect Timing Podcast. Double tap. Hit the like button as you come in. Take a look at, who is first in the chat with a paragraph. John 3:16. You know, man, where I live, there's this guy that be on the freeway, man, and he has a shirt and he has it on his car. John 3:16. Every day he waves at the freeway to remind people, man, thank you for coming in and blessing the chat with that first. That's a great way to start off the podcast, man. Everybody come on in, man. Everybody double tap, hit the like button, share and subscribe. It's so important that you like, share, and subscribe as you come in. Everybody come. Yesterday we had such a great show. We had La Vista become a member, donate, and gave out 5 memberships. She gifted 5 memberships. La Vista, shout out to La Vista for gifting the 5 memberships. Shout out to all of the brand new members, brand new subscribers, brand new listeners. You are at the #1 podcast on YouTube for political debate. We're talking about Trump news, giving Democrats the blues. Thank you, everybody that like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, everybody who joined the channel. As you subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. When you subscribe, they do this beautiful thing on YouTube. They make it so easy for you. Before, they used to have a join button. And it was separate, it was clunky, but YouTube, let's say thank you to YouTube. YouTube is doing great. They're doing great with the vertical lives. They're doing great with the shorts. I mean, they had to be competitive against TikTok, and I think YouTube is winning. I think YouTube did a great job instituting vertical lives and the shorts. So I want to say thank you to YouTube, man. And everybody, now when you subscribe, one of the new functionalities that they've given us is when you subscribe, there's a plus sign. DW said, talk about the congressional map. Talk about the... hashtag congressional man, hashtag MAGA, magnificent MAGA men. You know, I'll be hearing our catchphrases everywhere. I'll be hearing MAGA men. I'll be hearing congressional math. You know, the independent media is where it is as far as media is concerned and getting out true informative information. What you hear on like mainstream is regurgitated. It's scripted. It's not what we do here. It's not real intellect. It's not real discussion and back and forth. Karan Kumar said, what's up? So this is very different than scripted media, right? This is independent media via YouTube. This goes out globally, right? It's not just right here, centralized, located. So when we talk about geopolitics, we're actually talking about geopolitical conversation on a geopolitical platform. So it's an amazing opportunity that we have. Trump. It's an amazing opportunity that we have that YouTube has given us to have these type of conversations to inform the listener, right? Double tap, hit the like button. All you old fogies that be watching me, most of my audience analytics skew towards 50, 60 years old. You guys is retired. You got money. Double tap, hit the like button, hit the cash app. I don't want to hear this noise every day. I got to teach you how to like the live stream. I don't believe you don't know how to like the live stream. Double tap, hit the like button, just like this. Boop, 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 boop. You're watching on your cell phone. I know you're afraid. You're afraid to touch the phone while you're watching me because you think that you're going to go to somebody else that you don't want to watch. Listen, I don't want you to go to somebody else. This how you go to other people. You scroll up and down. I don't want you to go to other people. So I know you afraid to tap the screen because you're going to go to somebody else. No, it's okay. There's other ways to like the show. So at the top right-hand corner, there's 3 little dots. That's called an ellipsis. Hit the ellipsis. He said, I'm 20. Do you know what an ellipsis is? Hit the ellipsis. It'll give you an opportunity. In the bottom left-hand corner, there's a downward facing chevron. Hit that and you can hit the heart emoji. Hit the heart emoji. That also will allow you to like the show. So today is day 37. Today is day 37. My brother said, talk about the congressional math. We've been talking about yesterday we talked about the post-election and the congressional math that we have been educating the audience really came up yesterday because the Democrats spent $500 million on 5 seats. But yet and still the congressional math says that the Republicans still hold the majority in the House. 219 seats to 213 seats. But let's say they got the 5 seats. It would have been 218 seats to 219 seats. That's the congressional math. Those seats, the money, the politics, the theater, all of the news of Jasmine Crockett flying on a plane going to Texas, Gavin Newsom spending $500 million on these seats was about nothing. Those Jasmine Crockett and Gavin Newsom should have been focused on the big, beautiful bill because you know what coincided with those 5 seats that people never really talk about. You know what coincided with those 5 seats was the big, beautiful bill. And why? This is the thing about politics. And I know that people in America and the intellect is low. Because why are they not asking this one question? This is the best question to ask. Where were you during the big, beautiful bill? And I love that Trump is bringing it up now because now it becomes relevant. Where were the Democrats in the Senate and the House during the passing of the big, beautiful bill? Does anybody know how long it took to pass the big, beautiful bill? We've been shut down for 37 days. The big, beautiful bill is the largest legislation in the past 50 years, trillions of dollars. Some people argue it's the largest legislation ever. Trump said we got everything we wanted in that one big, beautiful bill. It was named the one big, beautiful bill, and it had everything in it. What did it have in it? Well, one of the things it had in it that you should understand as we talk about the clean CR, 37-day shutdown, your EBT not coming, your food stamps, your TANF, is that on November 1st, do you guys know who Doge is? Do you know who Elon Musk is? Do you know who Big Balls is? Do you know what Doge was doing? Well, when Trump took office, there was a hole in the border. Do you remember your border czar? I don't know. Was she the border czar or was she not the border czar? I understand now she's black. It's okay if she's black. I didn't know she's black, but I guess she's black. If she's black, it's okay if she's black, but is she the border czar? Is she the border czar? I don't know if she's the border czar. You don't know if she's the border czar either. Because we don't know if she's black or the border czar, what happened? 10 million people came across the border. They didn't have any way to process these individuals. And what did we learn? we learned that the Democrats in so-called sanctuary cities that are not constitutional, did you know the sanctuary cities and the ICE-free zones are not constitutional and backed up by law? We learned that in these sanctuary cities, Democrat leadership was paying millions upon billions for what? Housing, for health care, and for what? EBT SNAP food stamps. As you wonder what happened to the contingency, remember there was a contingency for emergencies. That contingency has been exasperated. What happened to the money? Well, your Democrats, why don't we ask the border czar or the black border czar or the border czar if she's black? It doesn't matter if she's black, but I just want to know, where did the money go? I don't care if she's black. I do care if she was the border czar, because then we need to lay blame. If you were the border czar, what we knew and understood is that thousands of dollars appeared on EBT cards for those people who you did not properly process at the border because you weren't the border czar. And Americans said no more payments to New York hotels. Remember, we said no more payments to New York hotels. We said no more $1,000 EBT allotments per Doge, per Big Boss, per Elon Musk. Remember when we said that? And we have proof. This is the oddest thing about Chicago, because it was a lot of Chicago black residents who were complaining. I remember a coalition of black Chicago leaders who were upset with the Democrats bringing in those individuals into the inner city of Chicago and giving them services that they had never given black Chicagoans. But when Trump comes to Chicago with ICE, everybody forgets. Do you guys remember? It was a great video. It was a group of very articulate black male and female elder Chicago statesmen. And they were expressing their disdain for the fact, number one, that the people that they brought into the south side of Chicago were people like the Venezuelan cartel gang, Trenta de Agua, right? So you brought in criminals. That was the number one complaint. This is during the last administration. We're talking about a 37-day shutdown. We're talking about what happened to your EBT and food stamps. We're talking about the big, beautiful bill and cuts to the big, beautiful bill and restrictions in the big, beautiful bill that became law on the 4th of July, October 2025. You have to write these things down. You must be taking notes. You have to understand this political debate from all aspects. Do you understand that the big, beautiful bill that the Democrats are trying to illegally, via procedural misconduct, make changes to in a clean CR, passed and was signed into law on the 4th of July. Born in the USA. I was born in the USA on the 4th of July. The big, beautiful bill was signed into law. Law. Do you understand law? See, I don't think people understand what a law is. See, the Congress owes the American people a budget via an appropriation bill that would become a law. A bill becomes a law. The budget, typically how the budget is created is the budget is created by Congress, and it is submitted an appropriation bill. That bill is then signed into law, then money can be allocated. Do you understand what I'm talking about? What is going on is that the big, beautiful bill that was signed into law in July, this is so important that you understand these details. My brother said earlier, the congressional math. It is so important that you understand these details when you understand what the Democrats are asking for before they so-called open the government. Because the Democrats are the ones keeping the government closed, because the Democrats have refused 14 times to vote for a clean CR. But I don't think anyone knows what a clean CR is. A clean CR is a clean resolution. A clean CR is a stopgap bill that was be passed in lieu of the fact that the Congress did not create a budget by October 1st in the form of appropriation bill that could become a law like the big, beautiful bill. You guys understand what the Democrats are trying to do? They're trying to change a law with procedural misconduct in the Senate. See, they don't like, or they are wanting you to believe that they don't like the big, beautiful bill, but it's post. You see, the big, beautiful bill is already law. Chuck Schumer, AOC, no one argued the big, beautiful bill when it was time to argue it and vote against it. What I would like Democrats to do is go back in the congressional record. Shout out to DW, who reminded me of the congressional math. Go back in the congressional record and see who voted for the big, beautiful bill and who didn't. See who built consensus to vote against the big, beautiful bill and who didn't. And then you will wonder and understand, why is the government truly shut down? Because if you understand the political ramifications of the big, beautiful bill and the changes that went into effect November 1st, see, it's not just changes to the Affordable Care Act. When they talk about the subsidies expiring, the subsidies and premiums going up, you must understand that Obamacare is not solvent. Obamacare could not pay for itself. Because Obamacare is not solvent, because Obamacare is broken and cannot pay for itself, they created subsidies, right, to pay for Obamacare and its flaws in design. But those subsidies under Biden, those subsidies were always going to expire in 2025. This is why I say to blame Trump for your financial ills is intellectually lazy. Americans, and I believe they want to be lazy. Americans are being intellectually lazy by ignoring these integral facts to the debate of the subsidies. Why are your premiums going up? Your premiums are going up from the poor design of Obamacare. It has nothing to do with Trump. And the subsidies, do you understand what a subsidy is? See, people don't understand what a subsidy is. They don't understand what a stopgap bill. They don't understand what the appropriation bill is. See, Obamacare needed subsidy, meaning it needed help being paid for by the federal government because it couldn't pay for itself. But they were only temporary because we're supposed to fix Obamacare because we can't continue to subsidize Obamacare. So the Congress was supposed to fix Obamacare before the subsidies ran out. Do you understand? Congress was supposed to actually fix the law. You understand? Because a subsidy is not law. It does not fix the problems with Obamacare. It's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid, and that Band-Aid does not, we all know what a Band-Aid is, right? A Band-Aid is temporary. A Band-Aid does not last forever, so it needs to be fixed. If it needs a subsidy, that means something is wrong with Obamacare. These are things that they are not being honest with you about. In Obamacare not being solvent, the subsidies expiring had nothing to do with Trump, have nothing to do with the Republicans, to be honest, because the Republicans did not create Obamacare. Oh, the Republicans did not create the need for the subsidies, and the Republicans did not put the Band-Aid on Obamacare and make it temporary. If you are upset at anyone, you should be upset at your Democrats who created a flawed bill, Obamacare, and then did not fix it, and then chose to then put a Band-Aid on broken Obamacare and then make the Band-Aid temporary. Ask yourself, why did Democrats make the Band-Aid temporary when they could have made it permanent? It's because of this, what's happening today. They wanted to use it as leverage. The Democrats could have made the subsidies permanent. The Democrats could have fixed Obamacare when Biden was in office, when they had the majority, but they did not. They made them temporary so they could use them as leverage, as Chuck Schumer is doing today. But we don't have the intellect to understand. Instead, we have jokers. Everybody wants to be a joker, and no one truly cares about the facts because your life is so bad. I get it. I understand. Your life sucks, especially since they took away your graduation. They took away your first kiss. They kept you locked away for 2 years. You didn't get to go to prom. You didn't get to walk across the stage. I understand your frustration. Now you're 21, you're 20 years old, and you're very upset at the system that let you down. And they've given you a target. Do you understand propaganda? Do you understand your programming? I know you're upset. I would be upset too. It was the greatest thing in America. You know what the best movies are in America? About the high school experience. Some of the greatest movies, Fast Times at Richmond High, Clueless, American Pie, some of the greatest films ever that we've ever watched were based around the American high school experience, and they took it from you. They did. They took away all those great memories from House Party, from American Pie, all those great memories we all had. They took them from you. So you are truly upset, and you have a reason to be upset, but you don't know who to be upset at. And you're so young, you don't understand these political aspects of the debate that I am sharing with you, because while in school, civics was not a priority. Politics was not a priority. And then they took those 2 to 5 years from you. So you're very upset and you're frustrated and you don't know where to lead and lean your frustration, and you're pointing it toward MAGA and Trump and Republicans because the media has told you that that is to blame, but you haven't done the research. You haven't done the thinking because you are being led by your emotions. This is why Charlie Kirk was so powerful. This is why MAGA Republicans love Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk was 30 years old. I'm an old fogey. Charlie Kirk was young enough to speak to these ills, to this emotion that young people have been left out of politics. Young men have been left out of religion and church and college and politics. Young American men do not feel comfortable on a college campus, do not feel comfortable in a church. Charlie Kirk was speaking to these young individuals and reminding young people that you are needed. Your vote counts, your intellect counts. It is important for you to understand. Double tap and hit the like button. Double tap and hit the like button. Double tap and hit the like button. Everybody, double tap and hit the like button. We are talking about the shutdown. We are talking about I Am American. Hit the like button. Thank you, brother. There is support out there. There is support out there. I just want to share with you. I understand your anger, and you could benefit greatly from my message. Double tap, hit the like button. You know what I suggest? I suggest a group of you get together and you watch my show together. I think you guys should start watching my show as a collective, maybe even put it on Clubhouse so you could expand the discussion, because I promise you, a lot of you do not understand the full complexities of the debate. Now, let's get back to the big, beautiful bill passing in July 4th. Let's get to 37 days of a shutdown. Let's get to the fact that Democrat senators are saying that they will not open up the government unless the Republicans concede to make changes to something that is already law. And what you guys don't know, you know what's so important about November 1st? That the big, beautiful bill went into effect. It was signed on July 4th, but it went into effect on November 1st. What am I saying? I'm saying that changes to WIC, changes to cash aid, changes to Section 8, changes to entitlements went into effect November 1st. These are realities that they are not sharing with you. It is not funny. And I think a lot of the people who are laughing are not affected by these things. Let's go into detail. U.S. government shutdown hits 30 historic 36-day mark under Trump. The federal government shutdown, initiated on October 1st, 2025, has become the longest in U.S. history after 36 days, affecting over 800,000 unpaid federal workers. It's bigger than EBT. It's bigger than EBT, affecting over 800,000 unpaid federal workers and 40 million SNAP recipients facing reduced benefits. Democrats led by Senate Majority Chuck Schumer. Did you hear that? That's not me. This is the news, baby. Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo blues. Democrats led by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries demand an immediate meeting with the President Donald Trump to resolve disputes over funding. healthcare, and border security following their recent election gains. Republicans accused Democrats of obstructing a clean funding bill to secure immigration concessions amid disruptions like a 10% cut in air travel capacity at major airports and a partial military pay. It's sad what's going on out there today. 36, this is the longest shutdown in government history. The federal government shutdown, which began October 1st, 2025, has now lasted 37 days, making it one of the longest in U.S. history. It stems from a congressional gridlock over budget negotiations, with Democrats pushing for protections on healthcare programs like the ACA and Medicare, because subsidies will expire. They could have fixed it, but they didn't. While Republicans prioritize spending cuts in border security funding that are law per the big beautiful bill, the impasse has disrupted federal funding for several entitlement programs, including those delivered via electronic benefits, EBT cards. Below, we're going to break down the latest status for key programs like EBT, TANF, and others based on USDA guidance. Current status: November benefits are severely disrupted. The USDA exhausted a regularly monthly allocation, $8 to $9 billion on November 1st, leading to a nationwide, listen to this, leading to a nationwide suspension of full payments for 42 million recipients, including 16 million children. A federal court order on October 31st upheld November 3rd, mandated the use of a $4.65 billion contingency fund, resulting in partial payments of about 50% of normal benefits for most households. However, 1.2 million households, affecting 5 million people, may receive zero due to reallocations under reduced funding pools. Do you understand what that means? Let me read that again, because that's the big, beautiful bill going into effect at the same time as the shutdown. And your Democratic Party knew that, and they did that. Let me read that again. I am saying your problems has been exacerbated by the big, beautiful bill. Let's read that one more time. Check this out. There was a contingency of $5 billion, resulting in partial payment of 50% of normal benefits for households. Listen to this. However, 1.2 million households, affecting 5 million people, may receive zero due to reallocations under reduced funding pools. What they don't say is those reallocations under reduced funding pools are law due to the big beautiful bill as of November 1st. There were changes to cash aid, there were changes to food stamps, and there were changes to Section 8 that went into effect November 1st, reducing the amount of people, reducing the money. The Chuck Schumer, they knew this. Timing and delivery. Partial funds are being loaded onto EBT cards starting this week. By November 10th through the 13th in many states. So a lot of people watching me right now want to know when the EBT is going to come so they can go get food. Listen, write this down. Even if you're not on food stamps, share this with someone that you love who is on food stamps, because they may be hungry. They may be wondering what is going on with the emergency fund. When can they expect? Listen. Partial funds are being loaded onto EBT cards starting this week. By November 10th through the 13th in many states. So by the 13th in many states, you will get a partial amount of the November benefit. But you need to understand the government is not open and there is no more contingency for December. What's up, Mrs. Perfect Timing? Thank you for the super chat. Double tap, hit the like button. Shout out to Mrs. Perfect Timing. Hey, did you hear this? Food stamps may not go out to the 13th of November. And what's today, you guys? Today is the 5th. So that's another almost 10 days. No food stamps this weekend. Share that information with your loved ones. But delays are widespread. Listen to this. Oh, wow. I didn't know this. Delays are widespread due to outdated state systems requiring manual overrides, and employees are furloughed. Full remaining benefits won't arrive until after the shutdown ends. You guys hear this? And Congress appropriates funds via a budget and appropriation bill, potentially retroactively existing October balances on EBT cards remain usable. They don't expire for a year at authorized retailers. State responses at 25 states are providing emergency aid, often via reserves. Listen to this. California, 30 million in state funded EBT credits, weekly emergency payments through November, 1 million to food banks. So they funded in October, but nothing in November. New Mexico, 30 million loaded onto existing EBT cards for eligible households. Oregon, food emergency declared in Oregon. 5 million from cash aid to food banks. So that means cash aid is being deplenished to pay for food stamps. So cash aid is going to be gone for December. Missouri, 5 million to food banks, 10 million for senior programs. So Missouri, no food stamps. They just giving money to food banks. A lot of states are not giving out food stamps. They just giving money to food banks. Rhode Island, up to $6 million in TANF emergency payments to offset SNAP losses. Rhode Island is giving out cash aid. Illinois, 20 million to food banks. This is Chicago. This is your Democratic governors. Have you guys noticed the Democratic governors ain't giving out nothing? Illinois, 20 million to food banks. That's not on your EBT card. Executive order for grocery and community partnerships. What is a grocery and man, I'm so glad I don't live in Illinois under that Democrat. What is a grocer and community partnership? Who is going to fellowship this? Who is going to streamline it? Who is the project manager? Who's going to deal with the logistics? They don't say that because it costs money. It costs money to get these type of programs off the ground and administer a grocery community partnership. Who's going to hand out the food? Who's going to create the boxes? Who's going to compensate the grocer? Who's going to compensate the people for creating the boxes and handling? Just be quiet, Illinois. Pennsylvania, 280,000 eggs donated to charities, serving 73,000 people infected. So Pennsylvania has farmers donating eggs. That is commendable. Thank you to the farmers in Pennsylvania for donating over 300,000 eggs. That is amazing, but no food stamps in Pennsylvania, no cash aid, just farmers and help from locals. That's tough. Because you seen Kensington and Philadelphia, it's kind of bleak out there, and they don't have no help. Again, Democratic, they just leaving their people to, be in pain. New York, applications accepted, but no new benefits until shutdown ends. EBT cards still functional for leftovers. No new money in New York. You voted for Mondani, and nothing is coming in New York. Zandani said free buses, free childcare. Y'all can't even pay food stamps. Why you listen? Why did you vote for him talking about free buses, free childcare, and lower rent? You can't even give food stamps to your people in New York, and you gonna get on stage and talk about free buses and free childcare and low rent. Give them food. Mondani, Marani, give them food. This is the impact. Average per person benefits $187 a month, now reduced 61% on average. New applications are being processed, but won't yield payments until funding resumes. Cash aid, TANF. Can I get TANF in the chat, please? Because no one is talking about cash aid. Everybody's worried about food stamps. TANF, cash assistance via EBT, current status. The TANF block grant with states with multi-year funding flexibility. November payments are proceeding normally in most states with no widespread suspension reported. However, some states are dipping into TANF reserves for SNAP emergencies. Did you guys know that? E.g., Oregon $5 million transfer, which could indirectly strain future cash aid. Timing and delivery. Standard monthly loads of cards continue without interruption. States like Missouri, Oklahoma confirm no effect. State variations. Check your state. WIC, Trump, listen to this. The WIC, Women, Infants, and Children full benefits expected. Trump administration announced on November 3rd that full funding will go to states funded differently from SNAP. Check the state with sites for local updates, no major disruption, and that came from a Trump tariff. That came from a Trump tariff. Child nutrition, school meals, partial disruption. How many people knew that your school lunches were being affected? Listen to this. Some states face delays in reimbursements. Contingency funds cover 50% for November. So if the shutdown continues, then we're going to see disruptions at the public schools for child nutrition and school meals. Broader impacts. The shutdown has furloughed 800,000 federal workers, now receiving partial back pay via court order. Delayed services like EBT. Food insecurity is rising, with surveys showing 72% of SNAP users extremely stressed. It's 42 million people on SNAP, and they saying 72% of the people. This could get scary out there, you guys. Be careful. I don't like these numbers. 42 million people on SNAP, 42 million people on SNAP, and it says 72% of those people, which is like what, 30 million, are extremely stressed about affording food. So what they gonna do? Because the food's not coming. Political developments. Senate Democrats led by Schumer are demanding Trump negotiate to end the shutdown, while Republicans blame Democrats for blocking clean continuing resolution 14 times. The Democrats voted against the CR 14 times. A hearing today. Oh, I didn't listen to this. This is new. A hearing today, November 6th, may yield another court order on full SNAP funding. Trump has signaled willingness for talks, but tied it to ACA reforms. That Trump don't give up nothing for free. We ain't giving nothing up for free. Nothing is coming up for free. Let's talk about the federal employees. Update on federal employees, furloughs, unpaid work, and military pay in the 37-day shutdown. As of November 6, 2025, the federal government shutdown, now in its 37-day, imposed severe financial strain on approximately, listen to this, 1.4 million civilian federal employees, 1.3 million active duty military personnel. This is the longest shutdown in U.S. history, surpassing the 35-day 2018-2019 impasse. Congressional negotiations remain stalled, with Republicans demanding deeper spending cuts and Democrats insisting on protections for programs like SNAP, Medicaid. Let's go into details. Federal civilian employees, furloughs, unpaid status, the scale and impact. Roughly 750,000 employees are furloughed. Non-essential workers sit home without pay, while another 670,000 expected employees continue working without pay. 670,000 people are working without pay. Over 30 days. How can you work over 30 days without pay? To their roles in critical operations, air traffic controller, border security, public safety. This affects agencies broadly. 67% of the USDA Farm Service Agency staff furloughed. So who is watching for the farms? That's our food. This is so dangerous, Democrats. This is so dangerous and detrimental to the health and well-being of the American citizen. 67% of USDA Farm Service Agency staff furloughed. They're not doing their job. Oh my God, listen to this. 72% of OSHA, the people who are supposed to be watching the oil rigs. Remember when that shit happened in Louisiana and that oil was out there for like a whole month? Well, 72% of OSHA are on furlough. Oh my goodness, and GSA and NNSA 1,400 furlough. This is affecting our safety, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about farm, we're talking about safety, OSHA, chemical plants, gas plants, all that OSHA, that damn near all of OSHA. 72% of OSHA furlough is damn near the whole thing. Pay status. All affected workers missed their first full paycheck on October 21st. That's sad. I want to say thank you for your service. To all the federal employees, furlough, essential, I want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Pay status, all affected workers All affected workers missed their first full paycheck October 24th, covering October 5th through the 18th. Uh, uh, with partial deductions for post-shutdown workdays, furloughs have been extended through November 29th. This is the first time I'm hearing this. God. Oh my God. Why isn't the media telling you this? I got to read that again. I'm reading this for the first time with you. Did you guys hear that? I was hoping that the shutdown would be over by November 15th. I am praying that the shutdown will be over by November 15th. Let me read this again because this is forecasting what we got to look forward to. This is terrifying. I just read to you OSHA furlough, farm furlough. Listen to this. The federal employees missed their first full paycheck on October 24th. That was going to cover them through November. Listen to this. Furloughs have been extended through November 29th in many agencies. How do they know to extend the furlough to November 29th? This is terrifying. Double tap, hit the like button. I don't know why we have 18 likes. Does somebody dislike me? What's going on? Double tap it. I'm not even going to ask no more because I'm going to just stay focused on my content. I don't know why you guys don't want to hit the like button. I don't know who else is giving you this information, but can anybody in the chat explain to me how do they know? What do they have to forecast this? They've already told employees to be furloughed to November 29th. How many days of a shutdown will it be by November 29th? Today is November, what is today? November 6th? Is it November 5th or 6th? And we're at 37 days. So we got 29. So that's how many more? Let's say that's 23 more days to the 29th and add 20 days to the 30. That's 57, almost 60 days of shutdown. 2 months of shutdown. That's never happened in America. At that point, I don't know if it's a joke anymore or do we start thinking that the country is broken. When do we start realizing that the country and the process is broken? I don't, when do we start looking at this? I say there's no longer a woke mentality. It's a broke mentality. The system is broken. Do you know that Congress still gets paid? So Chuck Schumer is still getting paid. Hakeem Jeffries is still getting paid. And Trump is a billionaire. Do you guys see what's wrong with this whole thing? The wrong people are in charge of this discussion. Hakeem Jeffries is still getting paid. Chuck Schumer is still getting paid. And Trump is a billionaire. And now we just learned that the federal government has just extended furloughs to November 29th. We're all thinking that the shutdown is going to be over. The shutdown is going to be over any day now. I don't know if we can still believe that now that I've just learned that furloughs have been extended to November 29th. And listen to this, in many agencies, with notice emphasizing non-duty, non-pay status. How can you extend the furlough to November 29th? This is terrifying. Do you guys realize if the government is shut down for 60 days, your Christmas is gone? There will be the contingency fund is run out. If the government is shut down to November 29th, there will be no EBT or cash aid or Section 8 for December. The government will not be able to function. So at a certain point in time, we got to start waking up as citizens that this is not about EBT. If the government stays shut down for multiple months, we don't have a country. We don't have a government at that point. Do you guys understand how serious this can get? Is the Democrats trying to destroy America? Or the Democrats because everybody in the chat and the trolls think it's worth some subsidies. Is it worth America for these subsidies? Is it worth keeping America closed for 2 months and then doing doing unfixable damage to the country? Is it worth it, Democrats? Because you keep saying insurance will go up. There's 300 million people in America. You're saying these subsidies affect 40 million people. Is it worth destroying the country for the 330 million people? And what about the globe? America is #1 in the globe. America is the defender of the free world. Everybody who believes in God and country. Is it worth it? At this point, we have to ask. Because what are we still in a country Is it still America if the government has been, because it's never happened before. This is, I'm just, if the government is shut down for 2 months, what does that mean as a citizen? At that point, I don't care about Democrat and Republican anymore. If the government stays shut down for 2 months, it's beyond Democrat and Republican. If the government stays shut down for 2 months, but the Congress and the Senate still gets their paycheck, we're in Hunger Games. We have transitioned into a new era in America, and a new era in American politics, to where the rich keep getting richer, the politicians keep getting a paycheck, and you don't even get food. You don't get a paycheck, and you don't get, do you guys understand the severity of this? We were arguing and having fun. The government been shut down for 2 weeks. If the government is shut down for 2 months, but the Congress people still get a paycheck, we are in a movie. We are in a sci-fi movie. Do you understand? No food stamps. Furloughed employees have to work and be slaves, right? The air traffic controller is a slave, but the Congress still gets paid and the president is a billionaire. We go into a sci-fi movie. Do you guys understand? If the shutdown goes for 2 months, what are we? Are we Americans? Are we living in the country? Because our country is not actually operating, and it hasn't operated for 2 months. No one is working at the IRS and the federal government. This is a real question. It doesn't matter anymore. Margaret, it doesn't matter anymore. This is the trick. I think this is the trick from the elites. This is how they take away everything from you. At a certain point, Margaret, it doesn't matter. If I'm black, if I'm white, if I'm Republican, if I'm Democrat, you know why it doesn't matter? Because there's no government. There's nothing. The government is closed. So you don't get to pick Republican or Democrat any fucking more. It doesn't fucking matter anymore because we don't have a fucking government. Do you see the trick bag? Do you see how they trick us? If the government stays shut down for 2-3 months, it doesn't fucking matter. If you don't like me because I'm black, if you don't like somebody because they're white, it doesn't matter if you don't like them because they're Republican. It doesn't matter if you doesn't like, because none of that shit exists anymore. It's fucking gone, and they still get paid. The government shut down 3 months, they still get paid. The government shut down 4 months, they still get paid. When do we start to wake up? When do we start to understand the game? How long can the citizens, when will the citizens say, hey, we don't want the government shut down anymore. It's our government, open it back up. Can you guys really hear what I'm saying? When do the citizens say, fuck the shutdown, open the government up, or are we going to do something? Because it's our government. It's not Chuck Schumer's government. It's not Mike Johnson's government. Open the fucking government back up. Because we want America. We are Americans. And if the government is not open, then we don't have a fucking country. While you motherfuckers go fight, open the government. When do citizens wake up? How long are we as the citizens going to point fingers at each other in the chat? How long do the citizens just go to Portland and argue over ICE? For all of the dummies in the chat, citizens are fighting over immigrants who are not citizens. There are people in Portland who are violently fighting the federal government right now over immigration and non-citizens. So kiss my ass. All of you in the chat who are saying citizens don't, kiss my ass. Because in Portland, Oregon, and they are fighting right now. I am asking, when you going to fight for you? Huh? I am asking, when are you going to stand up for you? It don't matter, Bruno. Bruno, it don't matter. I need us to wake up. I'm a Republican. I'm a MAGA Republican. At a certain point, I am American first. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I am a Republican. I voted for Trump. I believe the Democrats are evil. I believe the Democrats did this on purpose. But I am American first. And you know what's sad? That no one gets what I'm saying. It is very sad that no one understands that. I am a Republican. I support the president, but I am American first. And at a certain point, it's fuck everybody, America. Yes, right. At a certain point, it's fuck everybody, red, white, and blue. At a certain point, it's fuck everybody, red, white, and blue. And both the Democrats and the Republican work for me, they work for you, and they got to do their fucking job and open the government because it's red, white, and blue. You guys need to wake up. You guys need to wake up. And the reason I took that time to do that is because we just learned something that no one is telling us. They have extended federal furloughs to November 29th. I'm going to read it one more time because there's a lot of new people in the chat. Listen to this. I'm talking about pay status for federal employees, and we just learned a bombshell. I'm talking about pay status for federal employees who are furloughed, and we just learned a bombshell that hasn't been reported anywhere else but here on independent media. Listen as I read it again. Pay status. All affected workers missed their first full paycheck on October 24th. This would cover them through the middle of November with partial deductions for post-shutdown workdays. Listen to this. Furloughs have been extended through November 29th in many agencies, e.g. Commerce and the Interior. That's protecting us, with no notice emphasizing non-duty, non-payment status. The reason the conversation, the tenor changed and shifted is because I read that date of November 29th. The reason I took the tangent to say to you to focus you back on being American away from partisanship is because I read the date of November 29th and everything just crystallized for me in an instant. November 29th, we cannot afford to go to November 29th. That's all. That's why I took the tangent. American, and this is not about food stamps. This is about safety. Hold on. Let me get this guy out of here. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going, you guys. Let's keep going. Military personnel. This is about protection, scale, and impact. Now we're talking about military personnel, soldiers, and active duty pay. Military wives, military children, the people who volunteer to protect you, your country. Come on now, let's have a real talk. It's not just about food stamps, huh? It's not just about food stamps. Scale of impact, all 1.3 million. Listen to this, everybody, all 1.3 million active duty members across branches remain on duty as essential with no furloughs. This includes 37,000 stationed in Germany alone. Pay status, October paydays were covered via fund transfers, $4 billion on October 15th, mid-month, $4.7 billion on October 31st, end of month, reprogrammed from fiscal year 2025 R&D funds. Do you understand? $8 billion total identified by DOD. Trump signed an executive order on October 15th directing SecDef Pete Hegseth to prioritize pay using available appropriations. However, these maneuvers are a gray area legally with no funds left for November. So they did some political hokey pokey for October, but there's no money left for November. Listen to this. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warned on October 27th that the troops will miss pay starting November 15th, mid-month, if not resolved, marking the first such lapse in history. So if we don't have an open government and we don't have troops that are paid, what are we? This seems like a big hoodwink. If we don't have an open government and we don't have a military, what are we? They just said they extended furloughs to November 29th. So potentially our military could go unpaid as of November 15th. Back pay. Like civilians, military back pay is guaranteed under the 2019 law, but OMB's reinterpretation creates uncertainty. Oh my God. Congress has historically ensured it, but delays could compound hardship. So there is even issues for our military soldiers, wives, and families to get paid their back pay because OMB's reinterpretation creates uncertainty. Oh my God. The country, what do we have, man? Y'all thought it was just a shutdown. They always do this under Trump. They always do this under Trump because Trump is not a politician and the people who run the government cannot have Trump be in control. Man, you guys got to wake up. You guys got to wake up at what is really going on. Why do you think Trump said do the nuclear option? And it's still Republican politicians that are not like Trump who said, oh no. Is it John Thune? John Thune, the leader in the Senate, said he don't want to do the nuclear option. I think we got to start looking at these people, man. John Thune, you might need to get primary. I think MAGA is tired of John Thune. I think he got to go. We got to primary Thune, get him out of there. Because why is he waiting? Unless he's on the side of the politicians, unless he's not really a MAGA Republican, because he would have did the nuclear option and got the government back open again. But John Thune, you need to know the names of these people. All the people trolling me in the chat, do you know who the majority leader in the Senate is? Do you know who the majority leader in the House is? Do you know who Hakeem Jeffries is? Chuck Schumer, when I say John Thune, when I say Mike Johnson, do you know these things? Take notes, man. You're watching the #1 channel. Did I even announce myself? Back at it like a crack at it, automatic like a Fomatic, built for tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last. We're going to get this done real fast. What is wrong with y'all fingers? I need to know right now, what is wrong with y'all fingers? 31 likes? I mean, it's like you don't like me. You might as well just put 31 dislikes. If you're going to put 31 likes, you might as well put 31 dislikes. It's the same. It's the same. I don't understand. Double tap and hit the like button. We got thousands of chat, thousands of people watching, and we got 31 likes. What is the Democrats running the like button? Is Chuck Schumer working the like button? Is Chuck Schumer giving me 1 like for every 7 likes? Is it some Democratic evil math that's going on with the like button? Because I don't get it. 30 likes is not even mathematically congruent to what I'm doing and the information I'm putting out. There you go. If you're not going to hit the like, then leave. I prefer it if you leave because you're not hitting the like button. Look at 30, 40 people just left. Instead of hitting the like button, 30, 40 people just left. Kiss my ass. Kiss my whole black ass. Kiss my whole entire black ass. Double tap, hit the like button, and hit the super chat. It is absolutely absurd. 30, 40 people left because I say hit the like button. Nobody matter of fact, hold on. I am tired. I got some stock. What time is it? My wife gonna be coming home for lunch. Y'all must don't want me to finish the podcast today. I'm not gonna do this today, man, because I'm tired, man. I'll be giving out good information and I'm tired, man. I can't get my likes. I'm gonna change, man. My attitude about to change right now, man. I've been giving out information. I've been respectful. I've been focused. And my attitude about to change right now, bro. My attitude about to change right now. This participation trophy community that we have in America right now is sick. I mean, no one else is giving out this information, these dates of November 29th, the understanding, and people just I don't know. They don't want to hit the super chat. Is it racism? What is it? What is it? I don't know what it is. They don't want to hit the super chat and they don't want to, look at this. Look at here. On the ground strain, reports of pay discrepancies. Wow. Emerged by late October, overseas troops face acute issues. U.S. Army, Germany advised seeking food banks. Oh my God. Army, I imagine that has to be embarrassing. This is how our reputation in the world This is our global, we're supposed to be the global leader. We're supposed to be number one, the richest country. And now our soldiers are in Germany going to food banks because they hungry, because America can't afford to pay them. Do you think people who are not American will believe the excuse? Oh, no, we have money. It's just that the government is shut down. No, I don't think they'll believe the excuse that, oh, America is still rich. The only reason your soldiers are starving and begging for food is because, no, there's something broken. There's something broken. Listen to this. Reports of pay discrepancies. Overseas troops face acute issues. U.S. Army Germany advised seeking food banks, charitable loans. God damn, our soldiers got to get a loan. How does that make us look as a country? We must be broke. They are telling the U.S. Army in Germany to go get loans. That's not nothing to do with a shutdown. That's America being broke. And community fridges. Guidance posted early November, removed after backlash as intended for civilians. German social benefits are inaccessible. Oh my God. And we do everything for immigrants. Do you guys hear this? So soldiers who are in Germany to protect Germany, because Germany can't have an army, are not allowed to get food stamps in Germany. Oh my God. No one else is giving news like this. I said American soldiers in Germany are not getting food, not getting pay. So they've been told to go to food banks and get loans. But beyond that, the soldiers are there to protect them because they're not supposed to have an army. And Germany will not allow them to apply for German food stamps. Ain't that some shit? Domestic food pantries in Kansas and Texas saw 30 to 300% traffic from military families. Listen to this. Domestic food pantries in Kansas and Texas saw a 300% increase, mostly from military families. That ain't government shutdown. I'm sorry, that's not government shutdown. That's broader effects. Fatigue amongst unpaid personnel risk safety. Yeah, what about the air traffic controllers not getting paid? People could die. Listen to this. Fatigue amongst unpaid personnel risk safety. Potential 10% flight cuts at 40 airports due to air traffic controllers. Come on, man. They got a chart. October 1st through the 15th, they got paid. October 16th to the 31st, they got paid. Both of those paychecks were emergency funding. The first payment in October was emergency funding. We're talking about military pay now. The second paycheck in October was emergency funding. Now listen to this. It's November 6th. November 1st through the 14th, likely unpaid. Our military is going to go unpaid. We already got Germany, and we already got American soldiers in Germany hungry. Got to go get loans. What you going to do, steal food? November 15th to the 30th, unpaid unless unresolved. This is horrible, you guys. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. All right, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, man. When I talk about, one of my message points, if you're a member here, like, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, you can become a member, hit the plus sign. Nancy Pelosi, I talk a lot about the Democrat billionaire elites. When we talk about the election, we talked about billionaire Democrat elites. They spent almost $1 billion on the election. Congressional math says the Republicans still have the majority. They spent $300 million on 5 seats in Texas and in California, but the Republicans still have the majority. Nancy Pelosi is one example I use when I talk about multi-millionaire Democrat elites. And why didn't the Democrats fight the big, beautiful bill? I argue the Democrats didn't fight the big beautiful bill because Nancy Pelosi, who's worth $400 million, will get a huge tax break. Maxine Waters, who's worth millions of dollars, will get a huge tax break. Gavin Newsom, who's worth millions of dollars, will get a huge tax break. Did you guys know Nancy Pelosi is older than Joe Biden? Nancy Pelosi is older than Donald Trump. Did you guys know that? If Joe Biden had cognitive decline, but Nancy Pelosi is older than Joe Biden. When we had to talk about kings, when they said no kings, what did I bring up? I brought up the Democratic elite when Nancy Pelosi wasn't worth $400 million when she became a congresswoman. Now she's going to leave worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Maxine Waters wasn't a multimillionaire when she became a congresswoman. Now she's going to leave and as a queen. You guys, this is real royalty. When you say no king, I want to talk to you about democratic royalty. Just a little bit. We have a talk about democratic royalty, right? The kind of Democrats like Dianne Feinstein, who amassed a large amounts of wealth, multi-millions of dollars worth of wealth, Dianne Feinstein, and then die in power, die in office as multi-millionaire politicians. Okay, Joe Biden's son, remember Joe Biden's son, the one who smoked crack and slept with his brother's wife, the one who got put on the board of a power company in the Ukraine for millions. This is what the Democrats do. You know, Latia James, who's being prosecuted by Pam Bondi for lying on housing loan documents because she owned multiple houses and she charged rent on the house. This is what the Democrats do. They steal and rob money from you. Adam Schiff lying on loan documents, millionaire. So Nancy Pelosi finally announced she's going to retire. Can you believe it? How many years have Nancy Pelosi been in office? We're talking about democratic royalty. How long has Nancy Pelosi been in office? Let's talk about Trump has only been president for 4 years. Trump is only months into his second term. You know how long Joe Biden was in power? Joe Biden was in the Senate 30 years before he became Obama vice president. And then Joe Biden spent 12 years in the White House. 12 years in the White House. 8 years as a vice president, 4 years as a president. Who is your king? Let's listen to the details and you tell me about real royalty. On November 6th, former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, the longtime Democratic representative from California, 11th Congressional District, San Francisco, announced she will not seek re-election in 2026 and plans to retire at the end of her current term in January 2027. This caps a 40-year career. Do you guys hear this? A 40-year, who is your king? Real royalty. A 40-year career in Congress during which she became the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House. I want to know how much money is Nancy and her husband, because they were separated, worth, and how much was they worth when she became Congresswoman? Let's find out some real shit. Let's have a real talk right now. Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi net worth, current and historical view. The couple's combined net worth is estimated to be from $250 million to $413 million. Did you guys hear that? Nancy Pelosi, $250 to $400 million. Okay, so how much was she worth when she started? Can y'all tell me how much? I want to know how much she was worth when she started. In 1987. Okay, listen to this. When Nancy Pelosi entered into office, Nancy won a special election, took office in 1987. Already from a politically connected family, her father was Baltimore mayor. She's been in politics her whole life. Can you guys? And she's related to Gavin Newsom. Her father was Baltimore mayor. At entry, the couple's combined net worth was approximately $3 million. So over 40 years, they have amassed $400 million. But when she became a congresswoman, she was only worth $3 million. Who is your king? I just want to know, Democrats, who is your king? Double tap, hit the like button. This is how it works. You go like this. Boop, 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 boop. Double tap, hit the like button. Who is the real royalty in America? I just need to know, who is the real royalty in America? Nancy Pelosi became a congresswoman in 1987. She was worth $3 million. That's including her house. And she lived in San Francisco in a $1 million house. So she probably was worth a couple $100,000. And now her and her husband are worth $400 million. That's impossible. There's no way to explain that. There's no way, if you're being a congresswoman, when do you have time to make $400 million? There's no way to explain that. For everybody who hates Trump for being a billionaire, Trump wasn't in politics. Trump was making money in the business world. How the fuck did Nancy Pelosi and her husband get $400 million? And why don't you care? Why don't you care, brother and sister? Okay, let's get back to the story, because Nancy Pelosi is going to retire. Okay? Nancy Pelosi is going to retire. Okay? Okay, here it is. Let's get back to it. On November 6th, former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, longtime Democratic representative from California, 11th Congressional District, announced she will not seek re-election in 2026 and plans to retire at the end of the current term in January 2027. This caps a 40-year career in Congress. We need to change some laws. 40 years in Congress. Y'all talking about Trump being king after 4 years as president. Y'all mad at Trump after 4 years as president. Nancy Pelosi has been in the Congress 40 fucking years and made $400 million. It's even difficult to talk to Democrats, man. It makes it difficult to respect the Democrat. It makes it very difficult to respect the Democrat opinion when you guys have real royalty. And you want to talk about no kings. 40 years, $400 million. Don't ever in your life do a no king protest with motherfuckers like this at the helm of your party. And you let her be a leader. Joe Biden had been, how long Joe Biden been in the, how long Joe Biden been in politics, Senate and White House? How long? We want to know who the royalty is. Who is the real royalty? Joe Biden was sworn in, this before you were born. Listen to this, Joe, before you were born, it's a real king. Somebody said 50 years, thank you, but it's more. It's more. Joe Biden was sworn in 1973. 1973. How long is that? Do the math. It's more than 50 years. 1973, sworn in at the age of 30. He motherfucking 80 years old, y'all. How old is Joe Biden? He motherfucking 80-something years old. He been in politics his whole life. That's a real king. That's a real king. And you want to talk to me about no kings? Joe Biden was sworn in 1973. He argued for the crime bill in 93. That was 20 fucking years. And then 10, 15 years after that, he became the vice president. No one else, I wonder how the fucking long he been in office. He argued for the crime bill in 93 and then became vice president in 08. And then the motherfucker got to be president. This a real king. 36 years. Total length, 36 years, 12 days. That's what they said. 36 years, 12 days. Let's get back to Nancy Pelosi. Let me get back. My bad, y'all. Let me get back to Nancy Pelosi, man. I get excited about this shit, man, because the Democrats, man, it's hard to give to just it's hard to treat a Democrat serious, you know, because they are full of such shit and lies. Announcement details: Pelosi is 85. Pelosi's older than Biden. Trump is 79. Pelosi 85. Biden is what? How old is Biden, y'all? Put it in the chat. Pelosi is older than Biden. Older than Biden and older than Trump. Pelosi, 85, shared the news via heartfelt video message posted on media, addressing directly to her San Francisco constituents. In it, she described her time in office as the greatest honor. Queen Pelosi. Let's do it. Can we get the princess? Who knows what this is? This is what you call the princess wave. This is what Nancy Pelosi is doing after 40 years and $400 million. She doing because she's a queen. She's royalty. $400 million in America make you royalty. This is Nancy Pelosi, you guys, doing the princess wave. Oh, thank you to my constituents. Thank you to my constituents. Yeah. It's sad. This is sick, y'all. This is sick. Directly to her San Francisco state. In it, she described her time in office as the greatest honor and reflected on shattering the marble ceiling as the first female speaker. She emphasized her pride in representing San Francisco and urged residents to fight for an American values we hold dear. The video, lasting 4 minutes, served as a love letter to the city. San Francisco, the city that you let homeless people live in, the city that you let homeless people take over, where shit is. Yesterday, I talked about no more Denny's. Nancy Pelosi is celebrating what? California is so bad. The crime and homelessness and drugs is so bad. The last Denny's shut down. When I talk to you about the billionaire Democratic elite donor class, Thomas Siebel in the Siebel building in Emeryville. Beautiful, gorgeous waterfront property. You got Chevys on the water right there. You had Denny's right there. Did y'all hear that? My wife just called on the phone call. Did y'all hear that? We talked about Nancy Pelosi. Sorry about that. That was only a couple seconds. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Oh, wow, I dropped down to 43. A lot of people left. Oh, man, I don't know what's been going on with my wife, man, lately, man. I don't know. I don't think she likes me. I don't think she likes me. Oh, man. Okay. Pelosi, 85, shared. I want to watch the message. In it, she described her time in office as the greatest honor and reflected on shattering the marble ceiling. She emphasized her pride. San Francisco. I was talking about the Denny's being shut down in Emeryville. No Denny's, no Walgreens. All those stores. Do you guys remember those stories of all those stores leaving San Francisco? San Francisco's not the same. I don't know what Nancy Pelosi is celebrating. Remember all the shopping stores left downtown San Francisco? Remember no more Denny's. The last Denny's closed down. No more Walgreens, no more CVS because they kept stealing everything out of it. Gavin Newsom made it legal to steal $1,000. So everything closed down and left. I don't know what Nancy Pelosi is celebrating. The announcement came 2 days after California voters approved Prop 50, a ballot measure Pelosi championed to redraw congressional districts in a way that favors Democrats ahead of the 2026 midterms. They wasted money on those 5 seats because the Republicans in the congressional map still are 219 to 213. Just said true. Potentially one of her final major wins. It's not a win. Those 5 seats, Prop 50, is not a win. It was a waste of money. This is what's wrong with the Democrats, right? This is why I say it's hard to talk to a Democrat. Those 5 seats were insequential. They didn't mean shit. The congressional math before and after those 5 seats remain the same. The Republicans still have the majority in the House. It wasn't a win. It was a waste of fucking money, Nancy. God damn. Speculation about her retirement has swirled for years, fueled by calls for generational change with Democratic Party, but she has previously dismissed concerns about her electability. Let's see. Let's go to the Nancy Pelosi video. Do we got the video? What do I got?
The former House.
Do I got a speech from her?
Dear San Francisco.
Oh, no, we ain't watching that.
There's the leadership of
Oh, no. So her speech is a motherfucking montage. She put out a montage. You couldn't even see her face. She put out a montage. We ain't playing no fucking montage, man.
Had an incredible career for her party. I served under her speakership in my first term of Congress, and I'm very impressed.
All right, you guys. We getting out of here. I'm going to call my wife back and cuss her out for interrupting my podcast. Man, great show. Great show. Give yourself some props, man. Great show. Rapid fire. I don't know how many topics I did. I don't know how much knowledge I dropped. Great show, man. Double tap, hit the like button, hit the super chat, hit the cash app. Man, we had a great show. We did a lot today. We talked about a lot of things. I've never heard 90% of the information I presented you today has never been presented before on media or YouTube. I feel great about that. It makes me feel good as a content creator that we are providing information that's not being heard. A lot of it is bipartisan, nonpartisan. A lot of the information we presented today was bipartisan, nonpartisan information that could help you in your life moving forward in your political decisions, man. I feel really great. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap at the like button. Double tap at the like button. Everybody subscribe. We do this every day, 11 a.m. Sometime I go live more toward noon. So look for me between 11 and noon. Anthony, you've been really putting in a lot of work. Let me read this. How is it possible that soybeans aren't affected when other countries are selling the soybeans to countries you used to sell to? That's a great question. Thank you, Anthony, for coming through and adding your great commentary. Anthony, you've been putting in a lot of work in the chat today, adding a lot of intelligent commentary. I know you've been listening, and not only listening, but participating. Bruno, watch your mouth, man. I'm gonna get you up out of here, Bruno. I know you want to stay. Let me put Bruno on timeout. I'm gonna put you on timeout for that bullshit. You hear me, Bruno? I just put you on timeout for that bullshit. Watch your mouth, man. Respect the community guidelines, man. Brad, you on timeout too. Brad, I'm gonna put you on timeout. I'm put you on timeout, Brad. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Don't be spamming my chat. And Scott Trooper, I'm putting your ass on timeout too. Don't be spamming my chat. Don't be spamming my chat, man. And Tori, you're out of here. Tori's out of here. The reason I didn't put Tori on timeout because he saw me put old boy on the notice for being disrespectful in the chat. You out of here too. Everybody out. This is a purge. This is a purge. We doing a purge. We doing a purge. Purge. Let's purge him, man. Let's purge him up out of here, man. We did a great show today. Man, I feel great about today's show. I feel great about the information we presented. You know what I want to say? Can we take credit for Nancy Pelosi's retirement? You know how long we've been talking about Nancy Pelosi being Democratic royalty and being part of the Democratic elite. I believe they made her retire because of her wealth and power. You cannot have a no kings protest and it be legitimate when you have a Nancy Pelosi in office. She had to go. It's not congruent with the current Democratic message. And I believe in this channel and my audience are major reasons that Nancy Pelosi has to retire because of the argument that we presented here, that you cannot talk about no kings when you have your own version of Democratic royalty who has been in office over 40 years, who is older than, think about the logic that invalidates everything they've ever told you. Joe Biden can't run for president. Why? Because of cognitive decline. But Nancy Pelosi is still in office and she is older than Joe Biden. See how it invalidates their own argument? Then they come back last week and say, well, Joe Biden did not have cognitive decline because there's no medical proof. What makes that so scary is you are the ones who told us that. MAGA Republicans said he had cognitive decline 2 years ago, but you told us he had cognitive decline when you put in Kamala and kicked him out. We never said it. You didn't listen to us. We knew it, but you didn't believe us. This is the scary things about the Democratic Party. So how can you argue Kamala over Biden when you had Pelosi in office? How can you argue no kings when you had Pelosi in office? I believe she is gone because of the arguments being made by me and people like me in the independent media about the true political royalty in American politics. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys tomorrow around 11. I think on Friday is more like noon. So tap in, man. Thank you. God bless America. God bless Trump. God bless everybody in the chat. Double tap, hit the like button. Leave a comment after. Anybody that rock with me, leave a comment after. Go to my page, leave a comment, hit the super chat, hit the Cash App. Thank you for your support.